You know who's having a great time right now? Rusty Erasmus.
Oh.
He's sitting back. He's got a World Cup in the closet, and he's sitting back just going, yeah, you guys do your thing.
Yeah.
You guys do your thing.
We're just chipping away here, and we'll come out and try and do the business. But they are going to have to front at some point.
Let's have a moment to savour. We've got a new sponsor on board here at the Aotearoa Rugby Pod, and it's Australian Vintage. They're a wine distributor out of Australia, and they bring all sorts of top quality wines like McGeegan, who do the Black Label range that's so loved over the Tasman.
Smooth.
And we want to bring some moments to savour through them. Jeff, welcome to the show.
Do you want me to crack into it now?
I'm not sure
Save
the
it
rules
for later.
are
It's perfect for after dinner, I think.
Bring it home to the wife. She'll love it.
She'll love it. She'll savour you for a moment. But what is your moment to savour?
Oh, it's got to be bad. No, I won't go there. Beating North Hutt. No, it wasn't that. It was Mario Ledesma at the end of that test, and I think I saw one of the TV interviews he did with Sky, and he almost couldn't get his words out. It was just such an emotional moment for him, and I think for a guy that tried his hardest to do it as a player, couldn't quite get it done against the All Blacks, for him to be there in that position and see them do it, and as you said, for a cause greater than sport, in such a tough year as well. Just, for me, that was the moment, really. Yeah.
It was an amazing moment.
Yeah.
Also, he had Michael Checker next to him, and the two of them went through a lot of nonsense together at the Wallabies. So, to get that kind of win was also even bigger for him because he'd been through a lot there too in Australia.
Oh, massive, and he's had a lot of success everywhere he's going, so he's building himself quite a little CV, isn't he? For me, it was the post-match speech, to see what it meant to Matera and his team, but more importantly, their nation, and what they're prepared to do to bring a smile to their country's face in what is a tough time for them.
It's incredible that they hadn't seen their families for 4 months.
It's just it's a huge sacrifice for I suppose the greater good of their national rugby team, but also that really seems to be something they're leaning on is bringing a smile to their fellow countrymen's face.
You go to that movie?
Which one?
The Argentina beats the All Blacks movie.
No.
No?
No. I'd still question the 74th minute penalty at the breakdown when Matera's hands touch the grass and then drag back on the ball, and he gets the turnover, and from there they get the penalty that takes them. Let it go.
If they've got someone playing James Parsons in it from the radio commentary, like they had in the kick with some of the things, kick wasn't bad, but I'll watch it.
It was a moment to savour the fans at the end, I thought, for me, seeing how much that meant to them. Going at it for the last 15 minutes when they realised what was up. My wife's sitting next to me, and she pricked her ears up like, what's going on there? Yeah. I'm like,
history's being
made right there, And the other thing was, all of those blokes, the Argentinian blokes in the crowd were built like He-Man. What was the story with that?
The guy holding the flag at the start, like he was big Adonis. It was Tom Robinson with a tan.
That's not right. Most of the Argy guys you see, relatively thin when you walk down the streets.
No, they're rigged up. They're rigged up.
The thing is now too, though, is that this isn't just I don't think it's a one-off victory, and they know now that they can beat the All Blacks. And I think for teams that do it for the first time, that's always and having played, you'd know it's the part of it that's the hard part, getting through that and cracking it. And then we saw it with Ireland.
It's key to back it up though.
Yeah.
Now, against the Wallabies, I reckon it's a big one. And I think if they do back it up this week and then even the following week and get another win against the ABs, then they'll be a real force to be reckoned with. I know 2023 is a long way away. You don't want to peak too early, as we've learnt over a number of years, but it holds them in pretty good stead, especially if they can keep that coaching group together. Ledesma and his crew seem to be, they have something working not only at the Jaguares but now in the national team.
What I like about Ledesma, you spoke earlier about Wayne Bennett. I've had some minor dealings with Ledesma while in Buenos Aires covering those games, and he's one of those guys who makes you feel like you're the only person in the room in front of him. He's one of those guys who truly engages with you. He doesn't carry any ego. He doesn't have any kind of arrogance or anything like that about him. He is just the kind of guy that I felt I can see why they would run at a brick wall for him. Because he'd do it himself, and he's so respectful and nice and normal. There's something great about that guy.
But he's present. I think all the great coaches are present in the moment of a one-on-one situation, and dealing with what's there and now rather than ticking a box. And I think that's what the great coaches do. And from my experiences, I think there's second to none for me as a player as Tom Coventry. Like every time you sit down with him, he's focused on the there and now, and he just cares so much about you being a better footy player, but also how you're going outside of footy. So it's that relationship, and those relationships take time. I've known him a long time, and he's got my trust, and I'd run through a brick wall through him. So we're talking about Wayne Pivac now, and he's now building those relationships, and that's going to take time to foster a group that he knows and understands, and they know and understand who they're playing for and what they're playing about.